Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hi. How's everybody? All right. It was a full day of school and the kids there today. Since I had no lessons, I could spend the whole day with Sylvia making sure she got all of her work done. And I noticed that we were a little behind. But we got caught up, which is good. So it was a real good day, really. But I'll tell you, I hope we can go back to school at some point, because I don't know how much more of this sitting at the kitchen table the kids can do. You know, it's pretty hard to keep them at it and keep their spirits up with the school these days. That's for sure.
Announcement's supposed to come out tomorrow, I guess.
Yes, that's correct. We're anxiously awaiting that announcement.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't hold up. Yeah, that's right. I don't hold out much hope. I mean, I think it's probably a better decision if we all just stay home, but certainly the kids are feeling it. There's no question about that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, how's everybody? I think almost everybody's here. Well, Mimi's not going to be here, so I guess there's a couple not going to be here. But how's everybody else? Good. Good. How's the fiddling going these days for everybody? Sherry, you're saying no.
Yeah, practice would do me a lot of good, Dan.
Oh.
Is there a pill for that? Or?
Practicing? Well, you know, somebody was asking me about a practice routine, like what should be their practice routine not long ago. And I was saying, first of all, that, you know, when I was a kid, we used to spend a long time, like first of all, we had to wake up every morning at 6 o'clock. My dad would wake us up at actually 5:45, and we'd practice as a family band from 6 until 7, right? Every morning, especially if there was a show or if something like that coming up, we'd really have to do it. So we did that. And then after school every day, we were expected to practice for an hour on the violin or the cello for my brother, a half hour on the piano, okay? And now, I had a really good scam going there for a while because the Suzuki method, you got the tape along with the book so that it would play you the pieces so that you could get used to them, you know? And so I'd go in my room and I'd play that tape and I'd read a comic book and my mom was happy and it was great. It was an awesome scam. And then one day at the grocery store, for some reason, I still don't know to this day, my little brother ratted me out. And that was the end of that. And then I had to start practicing. So that's what we used to do. And you know, my wife, when she was going to university, she used to do like 4 hours solid every day. And now they're finding out, they're doing studies and they're finding out that small periods of practice are actually better than long extended periods because you're fresher, you have a better chance of getting things right, and you don't get as discouraged. So, and I have noticed with a lot of my students who work from home, I teach a few programmers, and they keep their fiddle out, and they grab it here and there during the day, and I gotta tell you, they've made big progress, for sure, definitely. Mostly it's the fact that they're just doing it. They're just picking it up. Even if it's just to go up and down a major scale a couple of times, they're doing it, see? And that makes just a huge difference. That's what they always used to say is repeatedness is way more important than long stints, you know, once every few days. So that's the first thing. So short stints. You know, keep your fiddle out. That's one of the biggest things. When you put it in that box, it's hard to open that box, you know? So keeping it out is a good idea. But in terms of a practice regimen, it's basically, I always say it's good to like start with the skills. Go up and down your scales and make decisions about whether the notes are in tune or not, sounding good or not, you know, and then go back and do it again to try to shore up that stuff you noticed or whatever, and then try a tune. That's in the same key or kind of the same key. That's kind of my best way of working on stuff. Yeah. Now let me ask you something. What is in the way of practicing usually?
Okay, so besides it being me completely, the people who live downstairs, like we're sharing a barn. I'm upstairs in the barn and they're downstairs, so there's not much soundproofing.
Yeah.
So just my discomfort, they're cool about it. It's me who isn't. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
me who's got to own up and do it.
Right, yeah. And they might not mind, you know, like you never know. They might be totally cool. Just want to take, yes, darling. Not right now, darling. You want to come down here with me? Sylvia's scout meeting just ended on Zoom, of course. And Jennifer and Jerome are gone for a run. Jerome started running, which is pretty cool. But anyway, self-consciousness about practicing, absolutely. It makes a huge difference. For some people, it can make it totally impossible. My friend Leon, who made my record, he's trying to learn fiddle right now, and he lives right next to a very awesome violist that plays in the TSO, and he just can't do it. He just says, I just can't do it. Now, Scott there, he has an electric fiddle. And so that's basically, you know, silent when he's playing it for anybody else
You
around.
can also get one of these things.
That's a big old practice mute. That can be good too. That's a great big metal thing that you clamp down on the bridge of your fiddle, and it reduces the volume by quite a lot. Yeah, so that could be a thing too. Yeah. But it is good to get over it for sure and just play anyway.
I have a problem with my cat.
Oh,
The
yeah?
cat can't stand. They can stand me playing it by myself sometime, but if you're playing it, you can't stand it, and it attacks me, and then I have to put it in the bedroom, and I feel guilty about putting the cat in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So I have a cat problem.
Yes, and you know what? You're not the only one. So many people have told me that either their cat goes crazy or their dog goes crazy. That's the other thing too. But I just got a cat there during the pandemic. His name is Tibbs. He's an orange tabby cat, and he's a great cat, but we have to put him in jail from time to time. He's just like he just gets out of control, just like you say, Bill, attacking us, systematically attacking us, and so I don't know what to tell you, man. I think he's got to go to jail. Like my cat is a recidivist. He just keeps going back to jail. Hopefully he'll get the idea one of these days. And then I had a cat once, Angus, and this cat was nuts for bows. He just, anytime somebody's bow started going, it was something about the horsehair, he just could not handle that. He'd be all over it. But we had to kick him out too. So I don't know what to tell you, Bill. Earplugs for the cat, maybe. Now, is there anybody else having any revelations or discouragements or anything like that when you're practicing this week that you want to ask me about or talk about? Because I'm here to help. No? Well, that's
I
good.
have a quick question.
Yeah.
So, I've changed, this fiddle that I borrowed has some pretty old strings on it. I haven't changed the E string. Is it possible, do they go rusty a little bit? Is that
Yes.
possible?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I'm gonna change it, because I can feel it when I'm playing, but I can feel it. Okay.
Now, one thing is, like, the rust doesn't necessarily really, like, impede the sound right away. But it depends. Is it rusty down where the bow goes?
Yes.
That's going to be a problem for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change it, because I can feel it, and yeah.
Yeah. And how long has that set of strings been on your fiddle?
I have no idea, because I borrowed it. It could be
Oh.
eons.
Who'd you borrow it from, Shona?
From Paul and Mary Reed.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's Mary Reed's grandfather's fiddle.
Lovely. Geez, that's great. I love Paul and Mary. They're awesome. And I love Another Bloody Folk Club. I've played there a bunch of times. It's so much fun. Yeah. Now, if you're not sure about how long your strings have been on your fiddle, I always just suggest just change them all.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
I've changed 2 of them, but I'll do the rest.
I think you should do them all, because when you have a mix match, you kind of get off kilter with the timing, and you end up having to put strings on more often than you need to. So just and always remember that, you ever notice some fiddle cases when you get them, they have a big long clear plastic tube in there? Anybody ever notice that? Well, it's yeah. So sometimes, so when you buy a brand new fiddle, for instance, there's a clear plastic tube in there, and that's for the in the classical world. The guys that I know, they put a set of strings on their fiddle, they get them all warmed in and stretched out and working properly. It usually takes about a week or a week and a half for your strings to settle in on your fiddle and stop slacking off all the time. Like when Shauna changes her strings, she's going to notice that the damn thing keeps going flat every day for about 5 or 6 days if she puts dominance on there. And so what the classical guys do is they do that and they go through that period, then they take the strings off and they put them in that tube. Okay? And then they put a new set of strings on and start fresh. And then if they ever pop a string during a performance, they can grab one of those already stretched out strings and slap it on their fiddle and they're good to go. See what you mean? So all you got to do is take those strings off, put them in your case for if that ever happens, and get a new set. Okay? Yeah. Yes, darling. I can't hear you.
I want a different number because I was thinking what I want.
Not right now, darling. Because you gotta watch the screen time.
You don't let me do anything.
I know, I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, so if there's no more questions, then why don't we get started with our scales. We'll do our 3 fiddle scales to start with, okay? And then we'll do our big, long G major scale. Sylvie's got a lot. Okay. So let's start off with the old A scale. All right, A major. Okay. She's mad at me. Ready, go. Oh wait, I gotta mute everybody. I forgot. There we go. Okay. So we're starting with A. Ready, A. That go okay? Let's try the old D. Ready, D. Okay, that's great. Now let's do our G. Now I wonder, did anybody have any good success with the bowing exercises this week, doing it on a scale? Did that go okay? Did anybody try that? Few people? Okay, let's pick one of them. We'll do G major, the big long G major. We'll do it with one of the bowing variations. So let's try the down, up, up to start with. Okay? So we'll go down, up, and then the next note. Ready, go! right, now I'm watching people's bows, and I remember last time I was hoping that people would be able to go right from one end to the other consistently, and it's looking way better. Much better. Going right from one end of the bow to the other. Everybody feeling okay about that? Yeah? Feels comfortable? That's great. Why don't we try another one since we're at it? Let's try the, what do you call it there? The Hop Bunny, Hop Bunny. Okay? And we'll try to use lots of bow and consistent again, just like the last one was nice and consistent. All right? And we'll do 2 on each note. 1, 2, 3, and. All right. Now again, that looked pretty good with the bowing consistency. It's looking pretty good. Does anybody want to play it for me so I can keep my eye on somebody's bow and see how you're sounding and see how you're doing? Who wants to give it a go for me? Anyone? Anyone? Julie's going to do it. All right, Julie, that was really, really good. Very good intonation. Like I have my tuner on here, and you varied very little. And the ones that did vary, you brought them right into tune. It was really, really good. Keep doing that work, because it's working. It's starting to, yeah, starting to take hold. Now, with your bow, you are moving at consistent length, for sure. do you notice on the open strings how the pitch varies a little bit?
Yeah, I did. Sometimes it sounds like it's really flat or something on
Yes,
the open
that's
string.
correct, because with your bow, when you dig in too much and go a little bit slower, it tends to kind of flatten the string. Let me show you. I'll show you if you have your tuner on. Everybody, if you have your tuner on, just watch this. So the low strings are especially susceptible to this. But so here's a free ring in D. Tuner loves it, no problem at all. Now I'm going to kind of heave into it and slow down. Now, did you see how much that flattened, eh? It's like a third of a semitone or something like that. So that's quite a lot. And that wasn't even much pressure. Like, you can hear there how much it flattens in the E string. Anyway, the E string does it too. I don't want to hurt your ears too much. But so when you're doing this kind of bowing that's got a lot of motion, you want to watch that it doesn't make you dig in more than you usually would. Okay? And all you got to do for that is to just kind of pick up your hand a little bit, a little away from the fiddle, so that when you're doing that kind of thing, it doesn't end up digging in too much. All right? Otherwise, very good. Now, is there anybody else that wants to try it? Does everybody feel about the same level as Julie there and how they're doing with that scale? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. Yes, Heather.
I still have trouble, and I'm wondering if it's the fiddle itself. I don't know, but going from the A string to the D string still, there's something weird about the D string, and it's always squeaking.
Yeah.
And I have to play it very carefully to hit the notes. Is that a D string? Does D do that?
What it just squeaks?
It seems like it feels like the D is very close to the same level as the G and A string.
Yeah.
And so therefore it's hard for the bow to get it.
Can you try? Can you do that for me?
My mom has a 3/4 fiddle.
Oh, right, right.
I don't know if that makes a difference, but
Shouldn't really. It's not a huge difference, but just play it for me there, Heather.
So I'll go from A to D to G and back.
Sure.
Now that was fairly clean, but
Yeah.
it often gives me trouble.
Can I see your bow? Your bow looks like it might be too tight, your bow. Yeah, that's too tight.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a huge factor in that kind of scrapey sound, eh? The too tight. Now, it's a little bit weird that it's only the D that you notice. Like, if it was too tight across the board, that's better, yeah. You would notice, but yeah, when the bow is too tight, it doesn't properly grab the string and it can cause that scrapey sound. Why don't you try it again, see if that makes a difference. And always remember, gentle is better.
Okay. Yeah, I was overcompensating and I pressed really hard.
Ah, don't press, just nudge.
That feels much easier.
I think that's what the problem was there, yeah. I was going to say also a possibility, especially if you have your fiddle taped up, is that sometimes the tape, if it's coming up a little, you put your second finger down on the say the D string, and the tape, the third finger piece of tape might be touching that string a little bit if it comes up a little bit or whatever, and that can cause a harmonic squeak as well. But I just noticed you had the tape on there, so you can watch for that too. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. That's good to hear you. Anybody else have any issues or problems, or we figure we can kind of do it as good as that? Yeah? Okay, good. So let's do one more bowing variation then on the scale, and we'll do the arpeggio as well right afterwards, and then we'll warm up our Twinkle Twinkle. Okay? So let's do now there's some jiggle. We'll do the jiggle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Arpeggio. Ready, and... Okay, jiggly jiggly. Now, the best place to do that is what they call the fiddling sweet spot, or the upper third of the bow. Okay, so I saw some people trying to do it down here. Now, it's not that you can't. Of course you can. It's a little bit more challenging because you're dealing with all the weight of the hand and everything. It's kind of like, ooh, it's a little bit more dexterous work. Down here, the weight of the stick is enough to get you a decent sound, and you can just kind of loosen up that grip and just jiggle away, okay? Yeah, so that's the right way to do the jiggle. Why don't we do the arpeggio once more with the jiggle, and everybody try to use that upper third of the bow. See if you notice a difference. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. All right, is that better? You feel a difference there, doing it up at the top end? And when you're doing it all, I think I mentioned before, but I'll just remind you, make sure you do a consistent number of jiggles every time you do it. So I was doing 1E and a 2E and so that's 8 of them per note. You know, make sure you keep that steady so that you can get used to the 8 notes. That's the whole point of the jiggle, is to get used to all the 8 notes we have to play in our music. All right, now why don't we try Twinkle Twinkle? All right, good old Twinkle Twinkle. We'll try it straight up the first time, and then the second time we do it, we'll do the chicken bowing. Okay, so we'll do it first of all, just straight up regular old Twinkle Twinkle. Okay, we start on the A. 1, 2, 3, and... All right, how's that feeling? Twinkly? Yeah? Good, good. So let's do the chicken bowing. So that's gonna be... That's kind of how it goes, okay? So just follow along with me and see if we can figure it out. 1, 2, 3, go. right, now that looked like people were having fun. How's the chicken bow and coven? You know, when I was doing it there, I was thinking to myself how hard it is, even now, to get it really perfect, to try to get each note nice and clean ringing notes. Like I messed up 3 or 4 of them, you know, like it is really, really challenging. But it's such a good thing to concentrate on with fiddle music because we're always doing that type of move. So how's everybody doing with that? Yes, Sherry.
On that chicken bowing, for the, where are you doing the first part in the bow? On your bow, or what would be ideal? Just because when I'm doing it down here, I've got great control. I'm gonna try and do it in the middle. I'm okay until the boing, 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 boing.
Yeah, so that's you're totally very observant about where having more control down in the middle, and it's because this is the edge of the waterbed, as it were, so it's a little firmer, you know what I mean, and it gives you a good response when it comes back. Down here is the empty end of the pickup truck, so it's not going to give you much response coming back. You have to do it. You have to pick it up yourself. See that? The middle. Yeah, that's the bouncy, that's the middle of the waterbed. So it's where you bottom out, and that is really that jumps on you. So sometimes you get into trying to play a tune and you're in the middle of the bow and everything's jumping on you, and that's why. So I suggest you start at the bottom, right where we did, and then try the different places on your bow until you can get it working, you know. But the bottom is definitely the easiest place to start. Any other questions like that or problems? Or observances? Let's do it again. Even better this time. One, 2, 3, go. All right, everybody looked like they were in a good part of the bow that time. Okay, how's it feeling there, everybody? Getting along okay? Making decent sounds? It's great. Very good. Okay, so now I think we should get into our kesh because we kind of got half of it last time, and we could get the rest of it this time. And then we'll, at the end, if we have time, we'll practice the rosebud as well. But I think I emailed you guys this evening a copy of the Swallowtail with the fingering in there for people that need fingering, and a copy of it without earlier for people that don't use it. And also, I apologize for sending out that first Kesh jig from the session.org. I got the versions mixed up. It's not much different than the way I play it, but it is a little bit confusing in how it's slightly different. Now, the version that I found for you is also just slightly, maybe like a couple of notes different than the way I play it, but it's still a very good version, and it'll definitely do the job. I'm just going to get it up here so I can see it. Okay, this is sent.
Dan,
Yep,
did you send out that the version of the cache?
I did earlier tonight. And
Okay, I don't think I got it.
I probably sent it to your other address, Elaine.
Oh.
Hold on here. It's coming now. spell
Okay.
it. My computer keeps defaulting to that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the old cache there. So in this version that I found on the session, it is really, really close to mine. I'm just going to see where it's different. So there, yeah. I usually do G, F, G there, but the roll is really, well, I'll tell you the truth, I usually do the roll, so. But usually I do 2 rolls. But I think what we'll do here is we'll play the long G in the hopes that one of these days we'll be able to play a roll. Okay? And I'll show you what a roll is and all that kind of thing. So for now, we'll leave that a long G because also the other long notes that you see in the tune there, they can be, we can put rolls on them too, except for the open A's. You can't really put a roll on an open string, but we can put rolls on the other notes. So we'll leave those as long notes for now, the B's and the G's and that high G, okay? So
Yeah.
anyway, yep,
I was wondering, so last time you said we were playing this, was it in G we're playing it?
yep,
And then you said for the E, it would be a close E?
close,
For,
close 2 on the E string.
okay, and then was there an A that had to be played close to, or no?
A2 is close.
Okay.
Yeah, except let me just look at the version again. Let me see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. There are no A2s. There are no C's in this entire tune. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so but the E2 is close, and that would sound really weird if you'd played it in the regular spot. Okay? So any other questions about the version? Everybody has the right version there? The not the very first one I sent, but the ones after that. Yes, Heather?
In the last bar, the first note is a high B. You play that. It's an E4 or
Yeah, we got to
B.
play the high B, yes. Get your pinky ready.
Okay.
We haven't used the pinky yet. This is going to be our first time. Now, you know, using the pinky, has everybody figured out where the pinky usually goes? Like what you can use your pinky for? And, okay, check this out. I'm going to play a scale. I'm going to play that G major scale. But instead of playing the open strings, I'm going to use my pinky. Watch. So you see how that works there. That's you use your pinky to play as if you were going to the next open string when you're going up the scale. See that? When you use your 4th finger on the G string, it plays the same note as open D. Okay? Same with the 4th finger on the D string plays the same note as open A, and the 4th finger on the A string plays the same note as open E. So many people, especially in the classical world, don't really play their open strings. They only play the 4th finger all the time, okay? In the fiddle world, we don't do that near as much because, I don't know if you noticed there, but when you play the 4th fingered notes, it has a lot weaker sound, okay? Oh, Lena's having problems with sound. Oh no. I'm going to restart. Oh, she's going to restart. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so it has a lot weaker sound. So again, here's my E with the 4th finger. And here it is open string. You hear that difference? Now, it is a warmer sound. The 4th finger sound is a warmer sound. And that's why the classical guys use it all the time exclusively. If they can avoid touching their open strings, they do. But us fiddle players, we would rather have the strength of the open string. So that's why we don't use that 4th finger. I only use my 4th finger for the high B and for decoration. Okay? But this is definitely the first time we're going to be using that pinky in this tune here. All right? So anyway, the keshe. So last time we learned the first part. This time we'll learn the second part, but first we'll warm up that first part, okay? We're just going to play it really slowly together, and we'll do it, say, 4 times, just for the practice. And then I'm going to get somebody to play it and see how you're getting along with it so far. Is there any questions or problems before we try doing that? No? Okay, good. Let's give it a go. Really slow. I keep looking at this, but it's not Kesh Jig, it's Martin Wins. And I'm going to play it if I keep looking at it. I'm going to put it over there. All right. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. Little faster, tiny bit faster. Okay, everybody was hanging in real good there. I have no idea what it sounded like, but it looked terrific. Okay, so how's everybody feeling about that? Not bad? All right, who's going to be my first victim to play it for me? Anyone? Anyone?
I'll give it a try.
Thank you, Joanne. Really good. Really, really good. Good intonation. Good, consistent kind of length of note. And it feels great. How do you feel about it?
pretty good. A little rough start, but it got better as I went along.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And don't worry about a rough start, man. Everybody sometimes has a rough start. As long as you get her going. That's why the Irish people, they start slow, eh? They start their tunes slow. I think it's because of that.
Yeah.
Really good. Who else wants to play it for me? That was really great. How about Stacy? You want to give it a try, Stacy?
Yeah, I've got the earlier sheet music in front of me though, so it sounds a bit different.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Let's hear it.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, I lost myself.
You're on the open E A3A1 deal.
Yeah. Oh.
D3?
E3. See, I don't have that at all.
D3.
Oh no, I'm lost. Sorry.
That's okay.
Come back to me.
You're coming back around to the last bit, which is back to the D3 again, the first phrase again.
So open E, A3, A1, A3, A1, open A, and then back to D3?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. You're doing great. Now, one of the things that makes it harder for you right now, trying to figure out this tune, is first of all the different version is just slightly different, but it might be messing with you.
Right.
But the other thing is that you're using these tiny little bows, and it's really hard to hear the note you've just played when you do that.
So more bow.
More bow. I'm going to get the sign made. More bow.
Right.
Try just the first opening phrase, just the first phrase with a little more bow, and see if it becomes more kind of easier to hear in your ear. Way better. You hear that?
But
Yeah, way better. I can hear the melody now, you know? So try your best. Here's going to be your job. Don't hit the brakes at all. Just keep it as fluid as possible.
yeah, I think it's because I'm still a bit uncertain about the fingering, so I'm thinking too much about where my fingers are going and not where the bow's moving.
I hear you. That's why you want to kind of put that on autopilot and just make it move anyway.
Okay.
It'll help your fingering issue. That's the thing. Once you're a little more sure of what you're hearing, your fingers are more sure.
Okay.
Okay? Really good, though. You're getting it all right. It's just a little more confidence you need.
Thanks.
Okay, anybody else before we try it again? Anybody else want to try it for me? Elizabeth's going at it there. I bet you it sounds great. No? Anybody else? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to practice it for a second while I get more water and make sure my little girl's not watching TV. And then we're going to try it a tiny bit faster. Okay, that's going to be what we really try to do in just a sec. So mess around a little bit. clean it. Okie dokie. Ooh, Mary got one of them great big mutes too. Big steel clampers there. You know, there was my friend Ina O'Brien led a session in the East End for years at a place called the Cayley Cottage, which was a great little place on Queen Street, owned by a guy, Patrick McMurray, who happened to hold the Guinness Book of Records record for shucking oysters. He's the world's fastest oyster shucker. And his restaurant was great food, amazing food. And Ina held a session there every Tuesday. And there was a fella who used to come there. He played the fiddle, and he had a hard time playing the fiddle. He sounded awful, this poor guy. And the thing is about him, like, he just seemed to play whether he knew the tune or not. He would just saw away at the tune, you know. But he was a friend of all of ours, and so nobody would ever tell him not to come or anything like that. But one night Ina got really frustrated, and she said to my buddy Brian, "You got to do something. You got to do something about him. It's doing my head in, you know." And so he told him that Frankie Gavin, who's one of the best Irish fiddle players that ever lived, got a new piece of gear for his fiddle that he thinks makes it sound great. It's called a mute. Next thing I know, I go down to the session, and there he is, and he's got a mute on his fiddle. He's playing away there with the mute. Anyway, there you go. Okay, so how are we doing? You think we can go a little faster with the cash? Shall we try it? Right on. And then we'll try the second part. Okay, here we go. Ready, 2, 3. Okay, now that didn't look quite as relaxed as before, but that's okay. Anybody have any serious problems when we went that fast? Deborah, are you having a problem with your fiddle there?
I just had a string that went out of tune, so I was tuning it up.
Oh, okay. Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. Anybody else having any problems when we go that fast? Something that you notice? Something that's kind of stopping you or slowing up your bow or anything like that?
Yeah, I just can't keep up to that. I'm not ready for that speed, but
What happens, Heather, when
that's
you try
all.
to
Just need to practice.
when you try to go that fast? What happens?
Well, I don't play the notes right because my fingers can't find the notes fast enough.
Okay, yeah, and
I'm too new.
well, so I have a question for you. What, you're reading the music?
Yeah. I am reading the music and trying to hit the notes.
Okay, point your scroll at the music so that you can see your fingers and the scroll at the same, and the music at the same time. Okay, that might make it a little easier. That's what the classical guys do. Okay, one more time at that speed there, unless there's any more problems. And don't worry, don't be too stressed. It's only music. It's in the rearview mirror. As soon as you play the note, it's gone. Okay. Ready, 2, 3. right. A little better that time? A few more of the notes in there? Hopefully? Okay, so now let's take a look at the second part there, guys. Just going to get it up here so we can see it. Now, I'm going to play it for you. And I mentioned last time there, I mentioned a roll. And so when you're looking at the music that I sent you there tonight, with the fingering in it, you'll see in the second last bar of the tune, there's a long G, an E2 there that's long, okay? That's where we're going to put a roll someday, I hope. Okay, and a roll is an Irish ornament where you play the note above, the note again, the note below, and the note to finish. All in one bow. It sounds like this. That's a roll. See that? It's an ornament. Now, the nice thing about ornaments is that you can do them or not do them. So it's totally up to you. Some people play very few ornaments, almost none at all. Other people play way too many. That's me, okay? So you can try it or not try it after we learn how to do it and everything. But when I play it here for you now, I'm going to play it with that roll in there so you can hear what it sounds like. So I'm just going to play this second part. Do it again. Okay, that's the second part of the kish. Now, so does everybody getting that ringing around in your head? Okay, now just like the first part, we start with a long note. We start with a long, in this case, a B. Okay, and then it's a D, B, D. That's a 3-1-3 there after that. So we got a long B, and a 3-1-3. D, B, D. And then we got E, G, E. So that's open E, the close to, open E again. See that? And then we arpeggiate down. You'll recognize these notes from the G major arpeggio. D, B, G. Remember that from what we did earlier? Okay, that's a D and a B and a G, or a 3-1-3. So that whole phrase there has got the long one, 3-1-3, open to open, back down we go, 3-1, D3. So let's see if we can get those notes, guys. All right, we'll start with the long A1. Oh, Elizabeth's fighting. I can see that. I recognize the look. Which way have you got? What happened? Did it slip?
Yeah, I must have whacked it or something. But
Oh.
I'll be back soon.
Which string is it?
The A.
The A. Okay. Good luck. I'll check back in with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got the long. Yep.
Hey, Dan?
Yes.
Like, I won't know if anyone else has this, but I've got the Kes Chick, the first one,
Yeah.
and my notes are the second, that Cash, and a lot of the notes are different. Now,
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna-
if I'm the only one that.
I'm gonna send this. I think you know. Oh no. So I sent you one, Bill. Yep, I sent you one just this evening, and it's got the fingering marked into it.
Yeah, I don't have that one from this evening. But I did have a second one, which is a fair bit different. I can figure it out, but I don't know if other people have that.
I'm gonna forward this one to you here, Bill, and make sure you have it. Surfless. Okay. Yep, surfless is NFI. Yep. Okay. Okay, so you should have that now, there, Bill. Yeah. Check your email and see if you got that.
Okay, how do I get my email and then get back to this? But
Oh,
anyway,
I see. Okay, well, I'll just share the screen with you so you can see.
all right.
Okay, you can figure it out. Yeah, it's not much different, just a tiny bit different. But hopefully everybody else has the same hymn book. The one with the fingering marked in. Okay, yeah. So we got the long A1. And then we'll do 3-1-3 or DBD. Okay, and then we got open to open. Okay, and then we got to come back down A3, A1, D3. Okay, let's try that phrase again, everybody. A1 and then 3-1-3. That's B, D, B, D. Ready? Go. D, B, D, E, G, E, D, B, G. Okay, let's do that again. This time I'll do the finger numbers. So we got the long one. 1, 3-1-3. Open E, 2, open A3, 1, D3. Okay, how we doing with that? Everybody getting that? Couple more times there, guys. Long B, and we'll go on from there. A1, ready, and B, D, B, D, E, G, E, D, B, G. Okay. Now, the next phrase is slightly different. Instead of climbing up, it climbs down. It's got the long B and the D, B, G. See that? You go over to G there. And then we play this here. A, B, A, G, A. Nice little move there. It's mostly A. That whole bar is mostly A. Okay, so let's try that. It still has a long B. So we'll play that. A1, long. And then 3, 1, D3. Open A, 1, A, another A, D3, open A. Okay, that's the middle phrase. I'll play it all for you. That's what it's gonna sound like. Okay, let's play it again. Long B, ready, go. 1, 3, 1, D3. Open A, 1, A, D3, A. All right, we getting that? One more time there, guys. Ready, 2, long B. Yep, that's good, that's good. Looking good, looking good. So now, let's see if we can put all that together because I'm sure you can figure out what comes next. It's the first phrase again, slightly different. Okay, so let's see how far we get. We got the long B. Okay. Ready, 2, long B. 3, 1, 3. E, 2, E, 3, 1, G, long B, 3, 1, G, A, B, A, another A, G, A, long B, 3, 1, 3, E, G, E, 3, 1, A3. See that? So there, we go back to the first phrase again, And the only thing different between the first phrase and this third phrase is one note at the end. Instead of going to the D3, we're going to the A3. Okay, that's the only difference there. Okay, and then we'll get the end. Well, don't we already have the ending? Oh, I guess this version doesn't have a long B. So, yeah, we're going to play the B-A-B right through that. Okay, let's start. I think, guys, I'm pretty sure if we start at the top, we should be able to get right through this because we already know the ending. Okay, it's the same ending as in the first part. So let's see. Let's see what happens. You look puzzled, Julie.
Sorry, it's okay. I haven't got your latest version, so I'm just making my own notation.
Oh, did I not send it to you?
Yeah, you did. I just didn't have a chance to get to it.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. All these notation things can be really good to do because by the time you write down the notes about the tune, it's really in your head. It's a good thing to do. Okay, so now we're going to get our helmets on and we're going to try to crawl through all this until we get right to the end. Get ready with your long B. 1, 2, go. 3, 1, 3. Open 2, open. A3, 1, D3. Long B. 3, 1, D3, A, 1, A, D3, A, 1, open, 1, 3, 1, 3, E, 2, E, A3, 1, A3, E2, that's the long one, 3, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to use our pinky. So put that pinky down. You can see here, I got a little bit of space there for my high B. It always sounds flat to me when it's in tune. There it is. So you play that 4, and then you go back to your 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that's how you do that ending. Okay, let's do just the ending, guys. So that's the long A1. Yeah, the long A1 that we're eventually going to do. No, sorry. I keep getting mixed up. I know too many versions of these tunes is the problem. Okay, just 1 second here. Here we go. Cash. Okay. Yeah, no, the E2 is the roll. Okay, so let's try this ending. The long G. So everybody get your G ready, your E2 close, and it's long. Ready, and 2, 3, 2, 3. And then the high B, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's do it again. High G, ready, and 2, 3, 2, 3. 4, 2, 1, 2. Last time. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's the ending. So how's everybody doing there now? Everybody clear as mud? Okay.
Except the ending sounds brutal.
It's the high B, eh? The higher you go, unfortunately, the higher you go on the fiddle, the more apparent it is when you're out of tune, unfortunately. So that's always the danger of playing up high. It just requires a little extra work, you know. Get to know the way that high B sounds. It's very thin. Let me play it for you again so you get to know the sound of it. That's her. No ring, no nothing. Just kind of a weak little note that is only there because it has to be there. So you got to get to know it. That's all there is for it with the high stuff. What were you going to say? Yes, Joanne.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, on the tuner, what should it say if you've got the right B?
The right high B? It's B5.
Yeah, what should B5?
B5,
Okay.
fifth one up on the piano.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, Lena?
Yeah, I just missed the part where you talked about the roll. So which note was the roll?
The
I
roll.
heard what a roll is. I just didn't know where it was.
Sure. It's you see that long E2 in the ending, the last two bars of the tune. That's where you would put a roll if you were very brave. Okay?
I'm not.
You're not that brave. And see, the nice thing about that is that the roll, the ornament itself, takes a dotted quarter note to go by. It's 5 notes. It's 1/8 note and 4 16th notes, and it takes a dotted quarter note to go by. See what I mean? So that's why it's such a perfect spot there for it on that G. And that's why I think it'd be a good place to try our very first one. Okay? Yeah, good question. Anybody else have any questions before we try that whole B part a few times? Take the grinder to it? No? All right, you asked for it. Let's get out the 220 grit. So we got the long B, and I'm going to get the music up so I stop playing different versions. Okay. 1, 2, 3. High B. Let's do it all again. Long B. Let's do it again a little faster. Last time. All right, how did we do there, guys? Is there any casualties? Anybody that could not do it, could not get through it? No? That's great. Anybody who's kind of like, oh, geez, it was easy. No problem at all. Give me 10 of those. No? Okay, who wants to give it a go for me so I can keep my ears on you and make sure everybody's actually getting it? Anyone? Scott, we haven't heard from you yet. Oh, Sharon too. Scott first.
Just like the second half, or?
Just the second half for now, yeah.
Okay.
You got it, Scott. Very good. So again, a lot like Stacy, try to use bigger bows so that you're, especially with that electric fiddle, because it's very quiet. So try to use bigger bows so you can hear more of each note. You get a little bit more sure of yourself because you played everything right there. It's just you were very tentative about it. You know what I mean?
I thought I had doubled up one of the spots there, the A3, A1, D3. I thought I did 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
I already, because I kind of lost my place, but.
Okay, well, I thought you did very well, though. Now, I should say, though, that your fiddle seems pretty flat.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might want to check the tuning. And I thought while I was thinking that with you, and I remember Elizabeth fighting with her fiddle a little bit, and somebody else fighting with their fiddle a little bit. Next time, right? Next time when we have our class, the first little while we're gonna spend tuning the fiddle. Okay? Because I can't tune for you. You know, usually in regular times I tune your fiddle for you and it's working good through the whole lesson, but I can't. You're stuck there on your own. So we might as well go through all the proper method of tuning your fiddle, because the problem is what happens when you run into problems like the girl there that was a part of our class last month who tried to tune her E string and popped it, you know, because she was tuning to the wrong E. Very simple thing to happen. When I worked at the music store, it was so funny because people would come in one day and buy a guitar and a guitar tuner. And the thing is about a guitar is that there's 2 E strings on a guitar, a low one and a high one. And the next day they would come in and they'd be holding the guitar in one hand with a broken E string and the tuner in the other, and they'd say, something wrong with this, something wrong with this. And it was because they were trying to tune their their low E string up to the high E string, because the guitar tuner didn't know the difference, and so they're just cranking and cranking and cranking and then pop, and then they're just standing there shaking their head. They have no idea why. And so with the fiddle, it's the same danger, and especially right now, it's lockdown time. If you need to get a new string, one of my students, Brett, he needed to get a new string the other day, and he only got it yesterday. Like it took him 2 days to do the pickup from Long and McQuaid. So it's not easy to get yourself equipped if you need to. So next week we will do tuning the fiddle. And I'm going to make you do it. And we're going to talk about the dangers so that you guys don't have those problems anymore. Or at least try not to. Okay? Who else wants to try it? Who else was going to try it? Anybody? Lena, was it? Or Katya? Okay. Or Sharon. Somebody was. Sharon was first. Let's hear Sharon first.
Okay, I seem to be out of tune also. I have a hard time keeping in tune.
Okay, yeah, these days are terrible for it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, not only the weather, but my own fingers.
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what there, Sharon. Your high B was bang on the money.
First time it's ever. The rest went downhill.
Well, actually, it was uphill. So when you played the high B, you got that nicely in tune, and I saw you reach for it, you know? But then when you played your G after that, it was sharp. And that's what happens when you reach for those high notes. Oh. Woohoo! When your finger reaches for those high notes, sometimes the whole hand comes up for the ride, right? So you just got to watch out for that. Other than that, I think it's great, man. Nothing a few hundred times won't solve. Okay? And you just watch for that creeping up hand. All right? How about you, Lena? You want to give it a go?
Sure.
Awesome.
Okay. I missed a little bit of the demo, but
Oh, okay.
that's okay. I got my sound figured out.
That's good. Thank God. Awesome! Very good. And you were very brave and you tried the roll. So now you got the finger work perfect on that roll. You did exactly the right finger work. Next time you try it, I want you to play the actual note a little longer before you start the finger work. Because the rhythm of a roll is yum diddly dum.
Oh.
Okay? Anyway, really good, Lena. Really good. Okay, guys. Shall we try the whole tune? The whole Irish enchilada. Okay. That's my new name for the quiche. The Irish enchilada. Okay, here we go. Right from one end to the other. And I think that's a good tempo. D3, ready, and go. Repeat. Second part. Repeat. everybody's bows moved the whole time. That's very encouraging to me. Anybody have it? Was there any casualties? Anybody who was stopped in their tracks or left by the side of the road for dead? Anyone? No, that's
Yeah,
great.
that was me.
Oh, you, Heather, what happened? Where did you get left?
Oh, I fell off the train a couple of times, but
You got back on? You got back
Pardon?
on? You got back on?
Got back on.
Okay, that's good. That's what I'm glad to hear.
Practice.
Yep, just keep jumping back in the skipping rope, man. But the thing is, though, like when you get stopped up, it is important to be mindful of what actually stopped you up. For me, it's always something that surprises me. Whether it's a note that you thought was not right, you thought it was the right note, but it wasn't. Or maybe there's two ways, but you only played one. Try to pick out what it was so that next time you come up against it, you won't have that trouble. You know what I mean? I see. It seems to really accelerate the process for adults if you can do that. Kids don't do that. Okay, let's do it again. Any other questions? Any other comments or casualties? Okay, let's do it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Second part. How we doing that time? A little bit better? Hopefully? Yeah?
All good, just that last little bit.
The high B?
We'll get there, yeah.
Luckily, there's only one. That's the nice thing about the high B. There's usually only one or two. You know what I mean? Everybody stresses about it. You know, one thing that I do with some people is if you're constantly complaining about your high B being at a tune, usually flat, I get them to play the C major scale in 2 octaves. See that? People that get that high C in tune, they never complain about their high B again. Anyway, so don't worry. The high B is hard. It'll come along. Everybody complains about it.
Is that Rolf? Is that yum diddly dum?
Yep, that's right. Yum diddly dum.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Okay, shall we try faster? Anything in the way? Let's do it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go, long beat. Let's do it all again. All right, guys, how you feeling? How you doing? Did that all go okay? Good. Any problems or questions? Anything at all? Yes.
Dan, could you?
Oh, you muted yourself by accident.
Sorry. Can you just demo that little roll one more time of what you're doing there?
That's 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. See that?
Okay.
When it's fast, it sounds like this. So
Okay,
slow, it
that's
sounds
good.
like this.
Okay, thank you. I
Okay.
can practice it now. I'll have something to watch.
It'll be nice. It's such a nice thing. And when you get the hang of it, it's very accessible because it's just your left hand. It's not a right hand ornament. So the left hand ones are a little kind of easier to get in there. Good question. Any other questions? Anything at all? Scott, you're wrestling with your fiddle. You must have got to the end of what you could take playing that flat fiddle, eh? Yeah, we'll definitely get that happening. How did you do that time, Heather?
Oh, just fine.
Not too bad, though? You got able to get
hard.
bits and pieces?
Bits and pieces, it's coming.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing...
And then
yeah.
I can't, all those E's at the end, I really need to practice that. I find that really tricky business.
Yeah,
And
it
the
is.
high B.
It is. It is
Yeah.
tricky. Now, one thing I noticed that's going to contribute to that for you is when I've been watching you tonight, I see a tendency of this here with the left hand rather than this here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want the continuous curve right to your fingers. When it gets to the bookshelf, it makes the notes on the E string especially kind of tricky. You see how it moves your fingers away from them? Okay, so that might help you this week if you concentrate on that. Might really help that E string problem. Yeah, okay?
Thanks.
No problem. Anybody else have any questions or issues? No? Okay. Before we go, why don't we just blast through the Rosebud? Just so that we make sure we don't forget her. Okay? So let's just do a couple times through the Rosebud. It's slow anyway, so we don't have to speed it up, which is nice. All right. Okay, here we go. My dad would say, lots of feeling. Ready? Everybody ready there? Wait for Jocelyn. Poor Scott's desperately wrestling with his fiddle. You'll win, Scott. You'll win. Just keep at it. Okay, here we go. Ready, and... let's do it all again. One more time. B part. Well, everybody looked pretty happy except Katya was just a spectator. I saw you looking desperately for your music there, Katya. I know the look.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know where they are. I enjoyed listening to
Oh,
you.
good. And I can resend. If you need me to resend, please let me know and I'll just resend, okay?
No, I have them somewhere. I
Yeah.
just don't.
I understand. Scott, you finally got your fiddle working? That's great, man. Okay, anybody have any trouble? Everybody able to play it? Yeah? Okay, good. Next time we'll spend a little bit more time on it. I want to hear people's sound production and how the rhythm of the waltz is working out. Okay? Anybody got anything they need to add before we go?
I was just gonna say how sick my husband is of hearing me play this song.
Oh, that I can't do anything about either. You know, maybe I could do. What kind of band is he like? Maybe I could teach you something that he knows.
Oh man, yeah. He goes to bed, he hums it all the time now.
Oh yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the guy on the bus driver that made me stop that time. Anyway, okay, well, that's great, guys. So next time we'll spend a little more time on the Rosebud. I just want to see, since it's slow, there's so much we can improve. Intonation and sound and make it good, make it really nice. You know what I mean? So we'll spend a little more time on that, work out the cache, and then we'll see you next time, okay? Thanks for your transfers, too, very, very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you next week.